Good morning, passport holders. Today, June 20th, 2017, day 963 of the vlogs. And, yeah, up a little earlier than I had wanted to be, just to be honest. And that was to report all of the stuff relating to the kill valve on the toilet. So they were super thankful that I, came as early as I had, because I basically showed up as soon as they opened. And so at this point, I'm going to Ben and Kamie's in order to do a couple loads of laundry, maybe take a quick nap, and do today's Daily V as well if I've got the energy for it. But it's only an 8-minute episode, so I see no reason why I couldn't get that done before I put the second load of laundry into the dryer. And so that's the target, is to do that stuff. If I can get that all finished up, and then the bonus goal for today would be to get the Jessica Alba Gary interview all done as well, which I foresee not being a problem, since I have a full 40-minute deal, or a full 40-minute transcript all line leveled, ready to rock, and I can do that at 1.5 or maybe even 2.0 speed. So if I can get both of those done today, then that would be a huge win. I'll come back here, or back to my apartment around 3:30, do the vlog edit, upload, all that good fun. Yeah, that's kind of the deal. I ended up figuring out that the payment that I was trying to make to myself last week, my payroll payment from the business to myself, for some reason never got fully processed, which was why I don't have any cash in my personal bank account right now, which is kind of scary. Fixed it late last night, and it should be in my bank account by Thursday. But in the meantime, this is why you have room on your credit cards, kids, so that you don't have to stress about it. But I hate using them. So I'll be able to use that through, I think, until Thursday, no problem. And I still have, a couple $100 laying around in that primary checking account. And I do have my savings accounts, but I don't like touching those either. So that's the deal. That's what's going on. Hopefully you guys are having a great Tuesday as this is being recorded. It's another hot one here in Phoenix. It's, 9:15 a.m. and I believe it's already 103 degrees. So I'm sweating in this car. So I'm going to get to Ben and Kamie's as quickly as I possibly can. All right, guys, 11:30 at this point, and finished Daily V. Second load of laundry just went in. Feeling pretty positive about getting that all done before 1 o'clock, since I've got about 90 minutes, and it takes 45 minutes on each step of the process, so I should be done right at 1 o'clock when electricity prices here in Phoenix go up. My hope is that I'm going to be able to actually finish the Gary Jessica Alba interview in that time period. 90 minutes for a 40-minute talk, of which I did the initial 2 sections, I think it was. So the first 10 minutes I know is at least close. It's auto time, so there may be little things here or there, but I know the words are good, so I can fly through those. And then I get into the stuff that I required the team to pick me up with. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get that one all done. With Jeeve already done, that means that Jeeve is done for the day. Clintus is already in for the outsourced folks to pick up for me. Super excited about that. There's every chance that I could go to work today, having completed the 3 major things that I wanted to do. Well, 4 major things that I needed to do. I guess really 5 if you include the repair in the apartment, right? My laundry, those 3 files, and then the repair. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Well, guys, it's been a really frustrating hour and 20 minutes. I've only gotten about halfway through the Jessica Alba, Gary Vaynerchuk fireside chat, and the reason for that has nothing to do with captions, has nothing to do with power, because I brought my power cord today. It has everything to do with how hot it is here in Phoenix, even here inside of a house that is partially air conditioned, since it's now currently set as they're away, because they're both at work. It's cool in here. I'd say it's probably 85-ish versus 119 outside, and it's so hot in here that even now my laptop overheats in about 5 minutes if it's not sitting next to a large fan. And that's the hack that I've been using for the last couple of weeks at my place, since my place is even warmer than this place is that
literally have 2 small fans in my apartment, which you guys will constantly hear buzzing in the background, just on. And what I'll do is when I start to see the heat affect the frame rate on my computer, which is super important when you're doing things to fractions of a second, I'll sit there and I'll just take it off the laptop stand, bring it down, put it on next to one of those big fans and let it go for 4 or 5 minutes to dissipate as much of the heat out of there as I can. All right, guys, 3:20 at this point, and for as upsetting as the last bit was at Ben and Kami's place, first bit back here, it's been tremendous. Got home, put all my clothes away, it was awesome. Maintenance guy was already in here when I walked in. He had left to go get some parts, came back about an hour later. In that hour, I had all but finished the remaining half of the Jessica Alba thing. He heard me finish, I think it was like the last 4 minutes of it. And in that time, Clintus's captions from today came back from the outsource folks, did the line leveling on that, did final review, and pushed it. So as it stands right now, I have exactly 1 video in the queue. It's an hour-long keynote that I have already recombined and line leveled, so I'm good to just do a final review on that. I scheduled it for tomorrow. Depends on what goes on today. That stated, I still haven't edited the vlog, and I have to do that. That has to happen because once I leave for work, I'm not going to be back here before midnight. That's not happening any longer, so I have to ship that before I leave. And so the more important thing, though, is I actually haven't eaten anything all day. I've just been doing water and lots of it because it's super hot here. And the way that I've actually made it all work with my laptop is I'm literally sitting with a fan between my legs and a bunch of stuff jammed into the corner behind my AC vent there. See, like all that stuff there is doing nothing but pressing all that cold air up towards the coffee table and the fan. So that fan has been the reason why I can sit there and not overheat the computer, which was actually a really smart move because that bag was sitting on the other side of what should be used as a dining room, but I use this as my storage space because there's nobody to dine with here, so I just sit on my couch and eat. So that was a super smart move. All that cold air being sucked into the fan and then thrown into both my legs, which is nice, and the computer kept it cool enough so I can get the work done. So got to get the vlog edit done, got to get me fed first, and I think with about 3 hours of time, 2.5, 3 hours of time, I've got plenty of time to do those things and take a shower and get dressed and get to North Scottsdale before 7 p.m. I'm excited.
Well, that was one of the biggest data dumps I've ever seen in a 5-hour period onto a group of students. I was familiar with some of the things, and even I was getting them wrong by the end of the night because I was so burnt out. And again, I've been in this space for years, so it's definitely not a good sign. That would have been a lot of data for even an 8-hour day if our trainer could have been able to slow it down. It's a big ask for a lot of people to do this. I've got to assume that things lighten up in the latter half of the week, and I know from the schedule that they do because all of a sudden instead of having a dozen bullet points, it's got 4. So that stated, I have no option. I have to throw down and study on this stuff and study hard over the next, basically until Monday when the test actually goes down. So I'm not pumped. Obviously, I knew that it was going to be work, but this is a different level of memorization, and it's going to be rote. And that's what I really kind of wiggles me is I understand the concepts. I'm able to communicate them effectively as well. They want, and this is just such a sticking point right now for me, they want it exactly word for word on the test or you're not going to get full points. And while I don't need 100% of the points in order to pass the test, I need 85, I feel like those types of little things are going to be the reason why I'm going to struggle on it, is that I'll be 90% of the way right on a question and I'll get 4 out of 5 instead of 5 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 5. And our trainer's been very honest about the fact that that's a thing. And that is where people fail. So it is what it is. On the way home, I've got to get gas. And then I think I'm going to sit on the couch and decompress for a couple of hours.
And I hit the quarter game on a round number. That's not a good sign. I don't know what is. Alright guys, so it's 2 a.m. at this point. I'm in full wind down mode. And I actually want to try and sneak the vlog edit in before I go to bed. So I'm going to end the vlog here so I can at least get started on it. Excuse me for the burp there, but I just inhaled a piece of pizza because I still had one laying around. Um, Thank you guys so much for your time and your attention. I appreciate them both. Today has been kind of one of those heavier days where that stress level was so high coming out of that classroom. And I felt it not only for myself, but for the other 5 guys in that room, because only one other of them has had any kind of internet sales experience. And if I'm stressed out about this, and I've got my master's degree in IT, um, it's kind of I can't imagine where they're at. Like I just can't. I guess I just am so empathetic because the information was so dense and so on top of one piece after another piece after another piece and all the variables involved, and it's just like, yeah. So I'm gonna take this time to try and get slightly ahead, right? Edit the vlog, do the things that I need to do, go to bed, wake up, and do it all over again. I've got a daily V coming out at 9:05. I intend fully, unless it's 20 minutes or more, for me to do it hand and get it all done. And after that, it'll be into the hour-long keynote, race through that, and then continue to kind of check things off the list and prepare myself for this big exam that's coming on Monday. So, yeah. Emails coming in even now. It's 2 a.m. Gotta love it. Remember, though, you never stumble upon opportunity by standing still, so go do cool stuff. Bye for now.